What if you lost everything tomorrow? No business, no customers, no reputation, no network. All you had left was a laptop, an internet connection, and a few $100s in your bank account. Would you be able to build a successful business from scratch? Most people believe the answer is no. They think success belongs to those with deep pockets, powerful connections, or years of experience. But the world has changed. Today, the biggest advantage isn't money, it's attention. For the first time in history, one person can reach millions without owning a TV station, a newspaper, or a massive marketing budget. A smartphone, an internet connection, and the willingness to create consistently are often enough to get started. Technology has dramatically lowered the barriers to entrepreneurship. Artificial intelligence can help you write, design, edit videos, analyze markets, and even automate parts of your business. Tasks that once required entire teams can now be completed by a single individual in a matter of hours. But this creates a new challenge. When everyone can create content, content itself becomes less valuable. When everyone has access to AI, AI is no longer the competitive advantage. Trust becomes the scarce resource. People don't buy products simply because they're good. They buy from people they trust. And that's exactly why personal brands are becoming more valuable than corporate brands. Years ago, companies spent millions building recognizable logos. Today, many consumers care less about the logo and more about the person behind it. They want to know who you are, what you believe, what problems you've solved, and whether they can trust your advice. This is why creators, educators, consultants, and entrepreneurs are building audiences before they build companies. Instead of launching a product and hoping people notice, they're building relationships first. Once trust exists, selling becomes much easier. Attention leads to trust. Trust leads to opportunity, and opportunity eventually becomes revenue. This shift has completely rewritten the rules of business. The question is no longer, how do I build a company? The better question is, how do I become someone people remember? Because in today's digital economy, being memorable is often more valuable than being perfect. But standing out isn't easy. Millions of people are posting videos every single day. Thousands of new businesses launch every week. Most disappear almost immediately. So what separates the few who succeed from everyone else? It isn't luck. It isn't talent alone. And it certainly isn't expensive equipment. The difference is that successful entrepreneurs understand one simple principle. They don't start by building products. They start by solving problems. The best business ideas don't come from asking, what do I want to sell? They come from asking, what problem do enough people desperately want solved? Before investing months or even years into an idea, smart entrepreneurs validate demand. Instead of assuming people will buy, they test the market with small experiments, a simple landing page, a short video, a newsletter, a waiting list, or a small advertising campaign with a limited budget. These inexpensive tests can reveal whether people are genuinely interested before significant time and money are invested. Failure at this stage isn't a disaster. It's valuable feedback. Because every successful business is built on understanding real, customer demand, not personal assumptions. This mindset becomes even more important in the age of AI. Artificial intelligence is changing how businesses operate, but it's also making many skills easier to copy. What AI cannot easily replicate is your perspective, your experiences, your judgment, your reputation. Those are becoming your greatest competitive advantages. The future won't belong to the people who simply use AI. It will belong to the people who combine AI with credibility, creativity, and genuine human connection. If you were starting over today, you probably wouldn't spend years trying to build the perfect company behind closed doors. You would build an audience, share valuable ideas, earn trust consistently, learn directly from your market, then create products people are already asking for, because the greatest businesses of the next decade won't be built around the biggest budgets. They'll be built around the strongest relationships. In a world where almost everything can be automated, one thing becomes more valuable than ever: being someone people choose to trust. And that may be the most important investment any entrepreneur can make. So if trust is the new currency, how do you actually earn it? Most people think they need millions of followers before anyone will buy from them. But that's one of the biggest myths in business. You don't need everyone to know your name. You only need the right people to remember it. Think about the last time you bought an expensive product or hired someone for an important job. Did you choose the person with the flashiest advertisement? Probably not. You chose the person who felt familiar, the one whose videos you'd watched, the one whose ideas made sense, the one who kept showing up with valuable insights. Trust rarely appears overnight. It's built through repeated exposure. Psychologists have known this for decades. The more often people encounter something in a positive context, the more likely they are to trust it. That's why consistency matters far more than perfection. One great video won't build a business. One viral post won't create a loyal audience. It's the steady rhythm of showing up, week after week, month after month, that slowly changes how people see you. Every piece of content is another opportunity to answer a question, solve a problem, or make someone's life just a little easier. Eventually, your audience stops seeing you as another creator. They begin seeing you as the expert. And once that happens, something interesting changes. You no longer have to convince people to listen. They start looking for your opinion. But here's the mistake many entrepreneurs make. They focus so much on creating content that they forget to test whether anyone actually wants what they're planning to sell. Ideas feel exciting. Reality is much more demanding. The market doesn't reward ideas. It rewards solutions. Before investing thousands of dollars into building a product, smart entrepreneurs run small experiments. They create a simple landing page, a short online workshop, a waiting list, or even a single advertisement with a modest budget. The goal isn't to make money immediately. The goal is to learn. If nobody clicks, if nobody signs up, if nobody cares, that's not failure. It's information. And information is far cheaper than building a business nobody wants. Some of the world's most successful companies didn't begin with perfect products. They began with curiosity. They listened carefully, adjusted quickly, and improved continuously. This ability to adapt is becoming even more important because the business landscape is changing faster than ever. Artificial intelligence is accelerating everything. Ideas spread faster. Competitors appear faster. Products become outdated faster. Speed has become one of the greatest competitive advantages. But speed without direction is useless. Technology can help you move faster. Only wisdom can help you move in the right direction. That's why successful entrepreneurs spend less time chasing trends and more time understanding people. Technology changes. Human psychology doesn't. People still want to feel understood. They still want confidence before making decisions. And they still prefer buying from people who genuinely understand their problems. This is why businesses built entirely around algorithms often struggle to create loyal communities. Algorithms attract attention. Relationships create loyalty, and loyalty creates businesses that survive long after trends disappear. The entrepreneurs who thrive over the next decade won't necessarily be the ones with the most advanced AI tools. They'll be the ones who use technology to become more human, not less. Because in a world where machines can generate endless content, authentic perspective becomes incredibly valuable. Anyone can ask AI to write an article. Not everyone has a lifetime of experiences that give those words meaning. Anyone can generate images. Not everyone has a story worth telling. Anyone can automate customer service. Not everyone can make customers feel understood. That's the opportunity hiding in plain sight. The future doesn't belong to the people who compete with AI. It belongs to the people who combine technology with something machines still can't replicate: genuine human trust. So let's go back to the question we asked at the beginning. What if you lost everything tomorrow? No company, no customers, no reputation, no followers, just a laptop, an internet connection, and the determination to begin again. What would you do? Surprisingly, the answer is probably much simpler than most people imagine. I wouldn't spend months trying to create the perfect product. I wouldn't waste years writing a business plan that no one would ever read. And I definitely wouldn't wait until I felt ready. Instead, I would start by finding a problem that people already care about. Then I'd spend every day learning more about that problem than almost anyone else. I'd document what I learn, share my ideas openly, create content consistently, listen carefully to the feedback, and build trust one conversation at a time. Because every successful business starts with understanding people, not impressing them. The goal isn't to go viral. The goal is to become valuable. Virality can disappear overnight. Value compounds. One helpful article can lead to a subscriber. One subscriber can become a customer. One customer can become an advocate. And one advocate can introduce you to hundreds of others. This is how modern businesses grow, not through luck, but through trust, consistency, and patience. There is another lesson that's easy to overlook. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can achieve in a month and underestimate what they can build in 10 years. Great businesses are rarely built through shortcuts. They're built through thousands of small decisions that seem insignificant in the moment. Publishing one more video, improving one more product, answering one more customer, learning one more skill. Those tiny actions don't feel life-changing when they happen. But over time, they become impossible to ignore. Think of a mountain. From the bottom, the summit feels impossibly far away. You look up and wonder how anyone ever reaches the top. But experienced climbers don't focus on the summit. They focus on the next step, then the next one, and the next. Business works the same way. Success isn't built in one giant leap. It's built through thousands of ordinary days that most people never notice. The entrepreneurs we admire aren't fundamentally different from everyone else. They simply stayed in the game longer. They kept learning when others stopped. They kept creating when nobody was watching. They kept improving long after the excitement had faded. And eventually, the world called them overnight successes. As artificial intelligence continues to reshape every industry, one truth becomes even more important. Technology will keep evolving. Platforms will come and go. Algorithms will change. New tools will replace old ones. But human nature remains remarkably consistent. People will always look for leaders they can trust. They will always follow those who educate, inspire, and solve meaningful problems. Which means your greatest competitive advantage isn't the software you use. It isn't the platform you choose. And it isn't even the business you're building. Your greatest asset is your ability to think clearly, communicate honestly, and earn trust over time. That's something no algorithm can fully automate. So if you're waiting for the perfect moment, stop waiting. If you're afraid your audience is too small, start anyway. If you're worried that someone else is already doing what you want to do, remember this. People don't connect with perfect businesses. They connect with real people. And in a world where almost everything can be copied, your perspective is one of the few things that can't. The future will reward those who create, those who teach, those who adapt, and above all, those who never stop learning. Because in the end, building a successful business isn't really about making money. It's about becoming the kind of person capable of creating value again and again. And once you become that person, no one can ever truly take your success away.